Over half of the 2023 football season is in the books, and the race is on to earn a spot in the 2023 Mountain West Championship, which means we're getting closer to honing in on the Players and Coach of the Year awards. Hi, everybody. I'm Jesse Kurtz here in the Mountain West Network studio. The big announcement, of course, will be made during championship week. So who might be the front runners for conference supremacy through 8 weeks? With that question, we head to Denver and bring in Nate Kreckman of the Mountain West Radio Network and Altitude Sports Radio and task him with this unenviable task of picking these winners. Nate, it's great having you on, my man.
It's good to be here, Jesse. And this is tough. Like, it's mid-season, so there's still a lot of football still to be played. And the other thing that's tricky about this is, what do you want to weigh as being more important when you give out one of these awards? Is it about team success? Is it about individual production? There's a lot of debate that goes into trying to make choices like this. And as you'll hear, and I'll give all kinds of preemptions and explaining my picks here, this is tough. This is not an easy task that you've put me here with today, but I'm going to do my best.
You are just the man for the job. So let's get started. The great thing about college football, of course, there's always surprises. That's what makes the fall fun. So right now, in late October, who is your surprise team of the year?
Yeah, this one's not really that tough, actually, Jesse. Surprise team of the year in the Mountain West is UNLV. They're 6-1. Not only did we not expect this team to be bowl eligible after 7 games, but to do it without Doug Brumfeld for most of this season, it's been really impressive. Jane Mayava has been getting better every game. This team is playing with confidence. Barry Odom's done a great job with this team here in year 1. Now, the schedule is about to get a lot tougher for UNLV over the next few weeks, starting with a road date at Fresno State this week. But hey, they beat an SEC team. They have good road wins at UTEP and Nevada. This has been an overachieving first year for Barry Odom, and it's really good to see. So, hey, Jesse, maybe Matt Neverett's going to turn out to be the smartest media voter in the Mountain West.
So far, so good for him. So far, so good for Barry Odom, as you alluded to. Won 6 of his first 7 games. First to do that at UNLV since Ron Meyer in 1973. All right, let's move to offense. Who's your midseason offensive player of the year?
Yeah, this is a tough one because we don't really have a Kellen Moore or a Derek Carr this year that's just putting up stunning numbers and blowing everyone else out of the water. Right now, I have it down to 3 candidates. I'll do it in this order. At number 3, I'll say Mikey Keene from Fresno State. 15 touchdowns. He's leading that Bulldog offense that's scoring 34 points a game. I think he's been the most consistent quarterback in the conference. At number 2, Ashton Genty. He's 3rd in the nation with 868 rushing yards, tied for 3rd with 11 touchdowns on the ground. He's been great. But I'm going to give the nod for now to the guy that I think is the best offensive player in this conference, and that's Colorado State's Torrey Horton. 2nd in the country in catches, top 10 in yardage nationally. Every opposing defensive coordinator is completely focused on shutting him down, and he's been good every week. Like everything we do here, subject to change, but right now, midseason, Torrey Horton, Colorado State.
He has been something special. He recently joined Rashard Higgins and Michael Gallup as the only players to have multiple 3-touchdown games for Colorado State. Let's move to the other side of the ball. Who's your midseason defensive player of the year?
Yeah, my immediate inclination here was to go CSU again and give this to Mo Camara. He's leading the conference by a wide margin with 10.5 sacks. That's 2nd in the country right now. He's a game wrecker. And of course, Easton Gibbs belongs in this discussion with what he's doing for that very physical Wyoming defense. But right now, Jesse, and this is the team that you watch every week, Air Force, number 4 in the country in scoring defense. So to me, this has to go to a Falcon, and to me, it has to be Alec Mock. I was in the car Saturday, Jesse, when I get to hear you and Jim Arthur losing your mind on Mock's pick 6 to sew up that win over Navy. Mock's been a playmaker all year. 2 sacks against Utah State. He has 2 forced fumbles this season. He's the heartbeat of the best defense in the Mountain West. So my midseason defensive player of the year, Alec Mock from Air Force.
Rare is the player at Air Force who plays as a freshman. Alec Mock did that in 2020, been a huge player ever since. Right now he has 185 career tackles that leads the Falcons. All right, let's go to the special teams. They always have a huge impact on games and season. Who's your midseason special teams player of the year?
Hey, you make 6 field goals in one game, you get my vote. UNLV's Jose Pisano, Had himself a day Saturday against Colorado State. He's having himself a season, though. 18 of 19 kicking field goals this season. That includes 6 of 7 from 40 yards and further. He's second in the Mountain West in total points scored this season. Pisano's been great for the Rebels, kicking in those friendly confines of Allegiant Stadium. Midseason Special Teams Player of the Year from UNLV, Jose Pisano.
Former FCS All-American who Barry Odom told me earlier this week he is confident that if they get to the 35, they're coming away with points. All right, young kids make solid impacts on college football seasons. There have been some freshmen who have done just that so far in 2023. Who's your midseason freshman of the year?
You know, this one might be the tightest race of all of these awards. First off, honorable mention, Pefele Ashlock of Hawaii. He's been the breakout star of that Rainbow Warrior offense. But this one to me is a quarterback award, and it's a quarterback debate. So let's start with Braden Fowler-Nicolosi. He's put up some big-time numbers for Colorado State since he moved into that starting spot in the Colorado game. He's second in the Mountain West in passing yardage right now, tied for second with 15 touchdown passes. But Jaden Mayava, UNLV, while not having the numbers, he's 4-0 as a starter this year. He's 5-0 in games in which he has at least 20 pass attempts, filling in for the injured Doug Brumfeld. Now, the connection between Mayava and Ricky White, that's why they won that Vanderbilt game. If I'm going to give the Defensive Player Award to Alec Mock based on team success, then I feel like I have to do the same thing here. Jaden Mayava is my midseason freshman of the year, but, and I say here's the caveat, Colorado State can get on a run, get bowl eligible, and if UNLV stumbles here as the schedule gets tougher, it could be our dude BFN at the end of the year.
A couple of great young signal callers for UNLV and Colorado State right there. All right, drum roll please. Who's your midseason coach of the year?
Yeah, I don't even think this one's tough at all. Quick honorable mention, Craig Bull, Barry Odom, Jeff Tedford. They're all doing excellent work this season. But this one has to go to the legend Troy Calhoun. This is the best rushing team in the country, even after having to replace basically all of their top ball carriers from last year. And they keep hitting big passing plays. That's giving opposing defenses another wrinkle to have to worry about. Other side of the ball, top 5 in total and scoring defense. This is the most complete team in the Mountain West. Troy Calhoun, 7-0, ranked number 19 in the country. That's my midseason coach of the year.
7-0 for the first time since 1997. If you take the COVID 2020 season out, the Falcons are on pace for a 4th straight 10-win season here in 2023. Pretty outstanding. All right, those are some great players, some great coaches. I'm curious, though, are there any players that we have not mentioned that at this point should receive strong consideration for All-America honors or big awards at the end of the season?
So here's what's wild about it here, Jesse, is CSU is 3-4, and yet they have had some unbelievable individual performances so far this season. Dallin Holker, the tight end for Colorado State, he caught that miracle touchdown against Boise State to win it on the final play. 6 touchdowns so far this season for the transfer tight end. Mo Camara could get some All-American love on the defensive line. Again, 10.5 sacks. That's number 2 in the entire nation. The entire country was watching that Colorado game where he was absolutely wrecking that front for CU. And Torrey Horton, very strong All-American candidate right now with the numbers that he's putting up. So a lot of great individual performances at Colorado State. And I think Ashton Jeanty will get some looks. If he keeps it up right now for Boise State, he is tops in the nation in several key rushing categories. I think Boise's going to have to win some games over the second half of the season to maybe get some notice from voters. But Ashton Jeanty, I think, is a guy that people are going to be looking at the end of the year. You can't ignore those numbers. So right there, those are guys that I think could get some strong consideration for All-American honors.
Nate, I always appreciate the insight. Great stuff as always. Appreciate you, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I get all of these wrong at the end of the season, everybody can yell at me on Twitter. So thanks.
There you go. No problem. Happy to do that for you. That's Nate Kreckman of the Mountain West Radio Network and Altitude Sports Radio in Denver. From the Mountain West Network studio, I'm Jesse Kurtz.